G'day YouTube. As it were foretold within the prophecy, here in that I am, with me grandfather's dog hanging onto me mask after the first session of radiotherapy. And oh, if only I had been allowed to video that. They have a rectilinear zigzag Faraday maze for you to walk through to get into the chamber. And instead of letting you know you're walking through a maze, they have it ultraviolet lit with lots of blues and whites and a veritable art gallery of really high grade, I want to say fluorescent paint, but it's not quite fluorescent paint, but it's really super well done. And by the time you get into the centre of this maze, bedazzled by the paintings being sort of walked along by, well, you think it's Norman the doorman, the attendant, but he turns out to be the bloke who's actually setting the dials and everything. Very spicy sci-fi set dressing as you get laid on the table under the linear accelerator, which is just like a glorified CAT scanner to look at. But yeah, then you get strapped down to hold you absolutely super duper tight, and I got 1.8 grays over 8 minutes, and it was fucking fascinating. Trying to explain it to the people coming out delayed me a fair bit, because they all first thought I was joking and sarcastic and boo-hoo and sob, but you know, I grew up on science fiction novels written by Heinlein and Asimov and people like that, and you know, stories of fucking nuclear rocket jetmen engineers getting their eyeballs cooked, and the last thing they ever see is the Cherenkov radiation giving them blue lights. Dude, I hope that it wasn't all on bloody wrong telephoto. But yeah, we have the opposite of albino. We have a black rabbit. It's a charcoal rabbit. Yeah, I'll be disappointed if I've just videoed close up of my face yapping away there, but I might have. Never mind. We've got the reaction. Noisy miners, friggin' feral pests. Black rabbits, friggin' feral pests. So what was I saying? The idea is the cisplatin is supposed to sensitise the cancerous cells to the impact of the radiation, and during the maybe hour while it took the 70 milligrams of cisplatin dissolved in 1 litre of IV fluid to go in, yeah, there was the occasional twinge and spasm and ripple going through the muscles of the floor of the mouth, because, you know, there are tumours all down in across here, as well as this big friggin' ET sticking itself out through the side of my neck. So anyway, with the radiation, I could taste the radiation. It was scintillating along the bottom of my visual field, just at sort of cheekbone height. There was the occasional bright white jaggedy flash, you know, as I could literally see the radiation searing past the bottom of my optic nerves, and that went on across the face as the machine growled around and moved around. And below that, at different times, there was a pink glow, and below that again there was a blue core to the pink glow. And the most juicy of all was in the neck and the floor of the mouth, and all the places where the cisplatin had already been getting in there and annoying the tremors. It was sort of between twitching and bubbling and popping, and not quite popcorn crackling, but yeah, there was this quivering, rippling sensation of expanding, and it was weird. It really was weird, you know. Certainly not a case of just lie there and don't feel anything. It was fucking fascinating. And if the next 34 treatments are going to be as interesting as that, yeah, that'll be, yeah, I can't believe that the government are doing this for me for free. You know, you'd nearly pay money for that just as an amusement ride. Particularly, as I say, after having grown up on Robert Heinlein's stories of blind spacemen who last thing they ever saw was by the fading blue light operating their optic nerves as they burnt them out to save the friggin' rocket liner. Yeah, linear accelerators are very interesting. And hopefully, ideally, they might let me put the camera on a tripod so that after I've walked you in through that amazing maze of an entrance, and yeah, share the experience. It's surrealist linear accelerational experiences is what I'd like to call that one. But you know, it's apparently above the pay grade, far above the pay grade of everybody that I talk to about it on the radiology side. You know, on the chemotherapy side, I just mentioned that, by the way, I've got a twiddly little YouTube channel. If you've got any objections to me making a video, and I'll shoot it around you so you don't get identifiably in it, and you know, the answer was more or less, well, I'm wearing a mask anyway and nobody's identifiable, but you know, yeah, by all means keep me out of it, you know, just make a nice little vlog of chemotherapy, which I did, which I've posted. Now I'm going to post this, the post-radiotherapy warbles report. For those of you who are watching and paying attention, thank you very much. Yeah. I was warned that the first couple of treatments don't seem to knock you around at all, and it's a cumulative effect and it builds up, and eventually you will get to feel as shitty as you were afraid of feeling. But right at the moment, yeah, I'm not too bad. I better go over and share this good news with my daughter. But yeah, before I went over there, I had the attitude, well, I'm going to go over there and officially get my head cooked. It might be fun if I get there before him and get totally baked before I show up. And by Jove, old boy, that worked terribly well. Spiffing, which is short for spifflicating, I think. Anyway, warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.